Hi, this is Jennifer Dennison, and I am doing my reflection video based on the unit that I created. It was a math unit. It was actually going to be a 13-day unit, but we broke it up into concentrating on 3-digit addition one week and then taking a test, and then the following week do subtraction, take a test, and then a unit test put together. So they were actually tested like 3 times for one unit, but it gave us a great baseline if we needed to change or alter anything. I will say I have had to redraft this unit plan quite a few different times, and I'm finding that as a teacher you do. You have to be able to make changes to what you have written. Based on responses from the kids, if they're just not understanding the material or the lesson, sometimes then you need to create a day of reteaching. So we ended up doing a couple days of reteaching because when we went from 2-digit to 3-digit, a lot of them were getting confused about the hundreds place. So knowing that they then needed to carry the one into the thousands place, drop it down, was a little bit more difficult for them, and they struggled a little bit more with that. I did also notice that there was a lot more of a challenge with word problems, and then when we added the estimation, so doing multi-steps, estimating first, adding that estimation, and then doing the problem that was written was a little bit of a struggle for them. So we had to kind of break it down. And we created one day where we just focused on estimation and getting those parts really cleaned up nicely, so that when we added the second part, it was a little bit easier for them to transition in. This unit actually ended up going for about 3 to 4 weeks because we had to do a lot of stops and goes, reteaching. We had to reorganize our small groups based on data and observations that we were seeing. It's not something that they tell you when you go into school and you're writing these lesson plans, that they're going to be changed so many different times. That what you originally started off with may not be what you end up doing. And it goes by what is happening inside your classrooms. I was really nervous because the other classes were going ahead of us. And I know the plan was to, at least on testing day, we all tested together. And my teacher looked at me and she goes, "We only go by the data inside our classroom. We do not go on the data of anybody else's classroom, because the classroom that you are in is the classroom that needs to matter the most. And we need to focus on what is best for our students and what they need, and not what is maybe best in a group setting, so the whole 3rd grade team." So knowing that there are going to be times that even though we plan together, we may not end up doing the same thing, was really useful knowledge. I had only done group planning at a charter school, and the reason why they all planned together was because there was no curriculum. So it was a lot easier when you have to build and make your own curriculum to kind of come together as a team. But they planned differently than where I'm at currently. They do everything through Google Slides, which is a huge struggle for me. I've never taught that way. It's just not something that comes naturally to me. I find it actually to be a lot harder, just because, again, it's not something that comes easy to me. So to remake these slides over and over again is not exactly what I kind of envisioned I would be doing. But I do like that I am learning something new. I'm learning a different way to teach, and I'm seeing the pros in it. The pros in it is everything is right there on the computer. I have everything set up, ready to go at the beginning of the day. And they get to see visuals of every step of their day. So like filling out their planners, we have a slide that shows the planner, and then I'll go up to the whiteboard and I'll write on the day, no homework, or homework on page 893, those kinds of things. Through this process, I learned a lot. I learned how hard it is to be a teacher. I learned how much time it was going to take away from my family. Feeling overwhelmed was definitely something that has happened the last couple weeks, just not really knowing exactly what my lead teacher wants and needs, and trying to get everything, prepared and ready. I knew that teachers did a lot outside of school. I just didn't realize exactly how much, because I did lose quite a bit of time with my daughter. I'm a single mom, so this experience is completely different than someone maybe that went from high school to college and isn't married and doesn't have kids. They have a little bit more time. Me, it's been a struggle, because I'm still the only person really financially responsible for my child. And so being able to only tutor after schools for just a little bit of cash has been a huge struggle. Luckily, I have a great supportive system. My parents are taking care of my bills. We've currently moved home so that I could have all of my financial needs met. But it's been a lot. And looking back, I am extremely proud that even though I did a lot of crying and there was a lot of tears, I really accomplished something. This was not an easy road for me. I started in 2013 to get my degree. But being a single mom, and my daughter was sick a lot, and so we spent a lot of time up at the hospital with very crappy Wi-Fi. I had to do a lot of stops and goes, and I'm finally here, and I am finally student teaching, and I'm in the middle of my takeover. I only have 4 weeks left of my takeover, and then she is going to take over the rest of the subjects, and then I'm going to spend some time observing and doing things like that and subbing. She said she'd like to see me sub in some of the other classrooms to see what the other classrooms and grade levels are like, which would be awesome. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Next week, it is the Miss Dennison show, and I feel a lot more prepared going into this week. And I think as the weeks go on, I'll get more and more of a handle on it. I think a lot of people have this just idea of what a teacher is, but I thought I had a really realistic vision until I stepped foot in it. And now I'm like, oh wow, it's 10 o'clock at night and I've barely said hello to my daughter. I should probably do that because I'm grading papers, or I'm cutting things out, or I'm laminating. So it's been a journey, but it's one that I'm very proud of. And I hope you liked my video that I sent in of my lesson. I can tell you probably does not match the unit, because I think that was one of our reteaching days. But I'm very proud of it. I think that the kids really began to understand and to really learn that day. I think that was the day before we took our little pre-assessment. So, well, thank you, and I can't wait to share more of my lessons with you.